All right, my friends. So this is going to speed up a bit as we catch up to live time. Very important series. Excuse me, just got to get a couple things down. Very, very important series in this group. Okay, Barles comes in as the sixth player out of six in his group, and Bruh always does this stuff with the colors. Man, it bothers me so much. We're gonna put him in yellow for the series. I swear he doesn't play with the colors either. He always does it so that his opponent can't see him or something. Then it affects the casters. But yeah, as of now, as we catch up to live time, Barles is in sixth place. We have Bro who's in fourth. So it definitely feels like if Barles doesn't get a 2-1 or a 3-0 here, he is going to struggle as he will have more opponents to face up against. In Titans League, again, the bottom two will get relegated out and down to Gold League for the next season. If you stay alive, you're in fourth or up, guys, and lots of money on the cards here. Obviously, $40 per win, and then results, obviously, as well. So Bro's playing as the Lithuanians, and then Barles is playing as the Hindustanis. And again, as we catch up here, there's a couple things I just got to review. Like, Dock villagers can always be sniped in these instances, and I think that's what Bro is going to be going for. And we'll see. He already has his dock up, and the Lithuanians tend to get up a little bit faster. But I think Barles saw his scout, so Barles is going to engage. So Barles will keep his villager protected. And yeah, play all three here in Group B action. And yeah, okay, in the end, Bro is going to move away. Just didn't want to miss that because as we're speeding up, sometimes you can miss those things. Not the first time we have seen Hindustanis chosen on this map. Not the first time I've had that conversation with you guys about how Hindustanis aren't necessarily seen as a hybrid civ with their bonuses. But they're still being chosen here because the villagers are cheap and their options are incredible. Hindustanis and Gurjaras, they have been insane ever since the new DLC came out. And we'll see. Honestly, it is at a point where we might, if there's no balance patch before the main event, basically after the group stage, we might actually make some admin decisions. Because everyone just, none of the players seem to really want to play Gurjaras, for example. I will take the players' feedback. We might actually have like a global ban or two across the board or add an extra global ban to the Civ drafts if some of these Civs continue to just be obnoxiously strong. The Hindustanis' win rate is really high, and it's also high on like virtually any map they play, but I do think like with Lithuanians, man, when you can get this fast to start, anything can happen. And look at this for Bro. Now, this is a little late compared to what you would want, but he's trying to sneak the Vil, but notice how Barles is walling up. Again, guys, we're catching up to live time, so we should be, instead of doing supersonic speed, I decided to just do 2x speed. So we should be there shortly. Losing your scout would be massive on this map. Barles loses his scout, but Bro will realize that that is walled now. So honestly, I think this is really good for Bro because the whole strat for Barles was to go for a dock, and now he's going to have to go into archers instead. Yeah, baskets, exactly. The Hindustanis with the faster attacking camels, cheaper villagers, etc., etc. They're just, they have so many options that even if they might have a slight deficit with their economy early, if it gets to the mid game, Hindustanis can kind of hang with anyone, which is a big reason why you might see them picked here. But yeah, so I think like Tato showed what Hindustanis could do. Didn't Tato lose like all of his fishing ships one game against Bad Boy? I think he did. It's not a T90 stream without some bashing of the new civs. I guess so. I guess so. If you want to call that bashing, then maybe. But yeah, the win rates have been interesting there so far. And something that Bro has really struggled with ever since the start of this game is he didn't necessarily get the scouting down for his game plan. He must have solved the stable, still left his villagers exposed. Ends up saving the villager, though. Fast Spearman's there. He's going to have a dock in the north. And he's actually got a dock in the south. He's going to be spread pretty thin when it comes to spending his wood right now on all this, because he's got 5 fishing ships and he's got 3 docks right now. Could argue maybe went into the docks a little bit earlier, but he'll add the fish here. And let's see if does he scout this. This is a big moment because Bro does not see this, or sorry, Barles does not see this. And don't attack with your scout. Oh God, he loses the scout. Well, he is making a fire galley, so it's not the end of the world. Also here, saving his villager as well. A very, very clean game from both players, I would say, so far, now that we're caught up to normal speed. You have the walls down in the proper spots. The one exception would be Barles just not realizing that there's someone contesting northern pond here. Maybe we'll need to use his scouts to scout the south as well. So yeah, that's something that Barles needs to improve on here. Obviously tried to kill Vils. Bro defended very nicely there. And will actually complete his walls as well. Both players able to play very safe right now. Walls. I think there's a hole there. I believe there is a hole there. I'm not 100% because it's very difficult to see. But typically there's a white box if I select something. Unless it's a different type of tree. I think there is actually a hole there. And I think Bro is about to run through it. And oh, wait a second. Why is it speeding up here? What's happening? Okay, we had a disconnect, I think. This must be a disconnect. And I think this is a bad one, too. Actually, if you look, Barles has 90 seconds of TC idle time. So, here, we'll probably have to restore this. But I'm guessing right about here, yeah, Barles is AFK at this point. So he dropped. So the hope is whenever he dropped that we have a restore file for that point. We're back in, guys. We're back in after a drop. We're at 14 minutes. I was concerned the restore would come in way later than this. We're back into where we were. I'll get back to what I was saying here, guys, in just a second. And this is when Bro was moving out. So good stuff. Barles is going to make some skirmishers, and we continue. Where were we? Trying to think back where we were. Well, I think what I was saying is how Bro has more pond control right now. He's got the dock in the south. He's got the dock in the north. He does know there's a dock here. I'm a little surprised he hasn't popped out there with his fire ship. And here you have some scouts. There's been multiple opportunities for Barles to kill villagers. And Barles just can't kill these villagers. Now, some of the stats here reset, like idle eco and whatnot. But man, that's like 3 times now that Bro's been able to keep villagers alive. He's really in good shape. He does have to be a little scared of these skirms, though. There still is a hole here, I think. Yeah, I still think there's a hole there, and I don't think Barles realizes. The good news for Barles, though, is that he actually has skirmishers, so it's unlikely that army will get a lot of damage. 0 eco KD across the board. I don't think there was any eco KDs before the drop. And Barles spotted this dock. He didn't lose any fishing ships yet, though. So Bro clicks up. Something we were talking about with the Hindustanis is how they can kind of counter everything you make, right? And Lithuanian players usually going to go knights. And if they don't go knights, oftentimes going opening with crossbow at least. Maybe they'll go into pikemen, maybe they'll go into skirmishers, but realistically, with all this food, feels like it could be knights. And finally, the fire galleys move in. Good job there. And Bro, who's 4th place in the group, would love a 2-1 or a 3-0 today. He is, he's looking really good. He's looking really good. I like how he's going to make archers because you don't want to just go straight knights against Hindustanis who are going to go camels. Dang. We were mauling over Hindustanis existing in their current state. Well, not really. If you want to get started on the Gurjaras, right? But we're talking about how they can kind of handle everything. But the thing is, it's not an Arabia game. If it's an Arabia game, it's a completely different conversation. Just because people pick Hindustanis here because they can be good on this map doesn't mean they are as good as they can be in other situations. And you think about how Barles has played this. He didn't really attempt to go for many pawns. He did go for this one, but never really scouted it or contested it. Barles is out here playing Arabia with a few fishing ships, and Bro is out here playing cross. And he's in a really good position here. I like this. Now, Barles has 800 wood in the bank, so he could do some crazy things with that. Also has a fairly decent map, though the golds in the front will be an issue. I'm not a biggest fan about how he lost some of those skirmishers there before getting upgrades, but I think he's just trying to whittle down the archer numbers. Still has these 2 scouts in here. First thing we see from the Brazilian is we see a monastery. Now, guys, some players do this. It bothers me. Make a gate, man. I get the house walling. I know you want to do that, but like plan for it. I've seen one too many times where players lose eco because units run in and out of their base. Hopefully he makes a gate there. The crossbows get some damage in. We have TC here, and we have TC here now for Barles. So he is going to use the cheaper villagers and invest into land, which makes sense because right now he just does not have water control. It is what it is at this point. I'm also confused about Barles' stone count, too. I'm going to look for that. I actually am not sure. Oh, Stonewall's over here. Okay, there you go. The stable will be making camels. Again, a lot of skirmishers have died in this game. As skirmishers that could have maybe been pulled back. I think a lot of players would have pulled the skirmishers back and hidden behind the walls and waited for upgrades. Straight camels is not going to cut it. And here you have villagers trying to build a house, getting pushed back. Oh, no, and some of the skirmishers go to the other side. As it has been all bruh so far. As, okay, he's going to send the camels over. Maybe he'll keep some of those skirms alive after all. Let's talk about those scouts. Those scouts get out. I think they died to the spearmen. So the relics could now be collected. Always a talking point when you have the Lithuanians is snagging those relics. I do think that Barles, like, despite the fact that he's down by fishing ship numbers right now, the fact that he's on 3 TC with these eco upgrades and he's Hindustanis, I think he's got more than enough to be able to push this back. There will be a pretty strong force for Bro. But the extra attacking speed of those camels is going to be helpful. Hey, T90, can I finally watch the first roundup video? Yeah, it's on. It's already on the channel, man. It was up on the channel 2 days ago. I was unable to do a roundup video every round because it's just way too much. And by the time I get a roundup video done, the second round's already halfway through. So what I did was kind of a midway point group stage roundup video. And I uploaded that 2 days ago to the extra channel. Should be out there somewhere. So the priority was crossbows in terms of the upgrades. The priority was not knights, but now we're starting to see armor come in. Extra attack comes in when you get the relics. Love the forward monk. The forward monk is such a great idea here. Tries to get conversions, the camels for Bar. Speaking of upgrades, Barles doesn't have a single upgrade. He doesn't have armor, he doesn't have bloodlines, and actually even the skirmishers are lacking armor. The crossbows could honestly do everything on their own. But he is catching up with the eco right now. So, 3 TCs with eco, as long as he doesn't take unnecessary losses, could be okay here. Obviously, giving Matt that map control, though. What are these villagers doing? What is this? Why are there villagers out here? Yeah, giving that map control to the Lithuanians can be really dangerous. We'll see a forward siege workshop. I think for Bro, I don't know what's happening exactly. I think he might have accidentally set his gather point forward. Could be the gather point bug that people have been talking about. It's mainly skirmisher from his opponent. Barles does not have stone income, and he doesn't have a safe stone either. Now all the villagers come over here. He's still sending villagers this way. I understand maybe it was a gather point glitch, but at the same time, you got to realize at this point, if you've moved... Oh my god, this is so... Oh, his eco lead. His eco lead is not good at all now. That's so many villagers running around. Obviously, he's doing a million different things. And while he's doing that, he is going to lose 2 knights. Barles looking better now. Love the monk edition from him. He's not been focused on the relics too much, but I don't care about that. I just care about getting the conversions, holding your army. Oh my god. How do you not notice this? Oh man, this hurts so much. I feel so bad for him. He did move villagers from here. And he continues to move villagers from here. So I think what's happening, honestly, is he's using select all idle villager hotkey. And he's just sending idols to go do tasks. But he's not toggling through the idols individually like some people do. Like, I don't really toggle through idols individually anymore. I just do select all idols. And if I have idols, I send them to a task. That's just kind of how I do it. And, like, clearly one of these town centers, maybe both these town centers, has a gather point set forward. I think it's this TC, and it just continues and continues and continues. It's so bad for him. Dang, man. I asking this because you uploaded more round 1 sets on the extras after uploading the first round of video. Okay, Zaheen, I don't know if you got my answer or if that helped you or not, but I tried my best to answer. I'll have to clarify after the game. But guys, Bro had the lead in this game. And having those villagers not working has just been a nightmare for him. So utterly painful for him to not be able to push this position. And Hindustanis and their Castle Age army now looking very strong. The skirmishers can push back any of the pikes. Obviously, a lot of skirms are about to go down. It is messy. But, oh, jeez. Ah, man. This is so unfortunate for him. Again, I don't really know. Like, I had the gather point bug in the past, and then it has stopped for me. And I've heard Viper mention it recently that he thinks it's back. And so, you know, if that's the case, if there's a situation where his gather point got set that way, you know, I don't know. Okay, now he sees it after, I don't know, like 10 minutes. So I don't know the exact situation or the reasoning, but certainly not realizing for that long has hurt him so badly here. He still has not. Like, still, his gather point from this TC is out of his base. And clearly, he's under pressure now, so it's going to be harder to notice. Those villagers are probably just going to die. He decides to just drop a TC out here. And he's going into pikemen now. But now Barles has been able to take stone. And having skirmishers is not too bad when pikemen come out either. So I think camel skirm, I mean, it's really tough for Lithuanians to deal with that. Looks like the siege isn't going to cut it either. And Barles with the recovery, man. It's crazy. Also, Coffee 90, if it's not working for you, man, just use the Discord, my friend. Use the Discord. You can also type !notify here, but if it's not working, I can't really do too much about that. I would say just use the Discord. We have a way where you can get a ping in the Discord. So Bros to push this back. Economically speaking, it's 106 to 107. And so everything's even there. But in terms of game flow, Barles has already gone for semi-heavy investment to get the map back. And he's just going to click right up to the Imperial Age now. Bro needs a really good engagement here. He does have 3 relics. He does, in theory, have the army comp. Knights could take out skirms, and pikemen could take out the camels. Could be a world where Barles is going up to imp a little too prematurely here. Here we go. Pikemen will have full castle age armor. Obviously great against the camels, but it's a tricky combination. I do think, though, that this could be a fight that Bro could win. The camels don't have extra armor. The skirms don't have full armor. The knights have tons of attack. There's also a monk back here. And Bro has sorted out his eco. He's going to take a good fight. A good fight. I expected it to go a lot better, honestly, with the camels lacking those upgrades. But they do chew up those knights. But now, where's the castle going to be? The castle's going to be back here, guys. And he's got, like, no army. It does seem like, though, that the knights won't be able to go out and deny this castle. Wait a second. No, the scouts saw it. Oh, man, you could just see the stress and the pressure right now. Oh, my God. What a wild moment this would be if he can deny this. If he denies this or even delays it, I'm not even sure what Barles can do with him. Especially if pikemen continue to spam and he's going to go camel, apparently. This is at 50%. Now, a lot of those knights were weak, but this is not going to complete. Dang. And by the way, Coffee 90, I just went live, so you didn't miss too much. Sometimes the notifications will come in later on. But man, what an important game for both of these players. And we've had 2 moments in this game where both players have had opportunities to maybe snowball a victory. And then the other one just pushes them right back. I mean, the eco is looking incredible for Bro now. He's obviously killed villagers. He's got full gold and stone control. He can drop his own castle. We do have heavy camel on the way, though, for Barles. But I don't know how many camels he'll actually have. This group is getting pushed away. This is actually a great fight for Bro. This group, like, I guess the castle's going to complete. So I'm not even sure I like this castle from Bro. We'll see. But if camels were to come forward here, they wouldn't be able to contest due to the pikemen. We do have Imperial Age for the Brazilian behind this. Barles deleting his gate so we can get out. Now the villagers are going to get hit. Still feels like the castle should complete, but we have knights in here. And there's a lot of attack. And don't tell me this is going to be Dow Castle number 2 for Bro. And apparently Bro and Barles is just the weirdest name combination for me to be able to stick to. So I'm going to get that wrong today, apparently. Man, what a crazy pushback. Okay, so now you have decisions to make. I would say I would classify this game as a little bit sloppy, but it's been very eco-heavy, guys. Both players have incredible economies, and so they haven't been able to really, like, micro or mass armies as much as they've really wanted to. They need to now. They need to. And so now You've got 7 on gold if you're Barles. You need access to this gold. You need access to this gold. You can see he's trying. But it's a little sketchy. He's going to get conscription. He's also going to get his unique tech, which I think gives him... which means he brings in the gold a little bit faster. And I think it's a clear sign right now if you're bro that you need to go Halb, and he's going to add more pikemen. And he should have the resources for Halb first thing. Now, this castle could be trebbed down. He's actually making some Latus right now, which is an interesting choice. Latus also benefit from the extra attack. Latus probably better than a knight when up against camels, though camels should still do the trick. And I think the important thing here to mention is that bro has lots of stone. He's got stone mining here. He's got stone mining here. I think he's got to have stone mining somewhere else as well. I don't know exactly where it is. Also has all of these resources. It is going to be hand cannons, though, for Barles. He knows his opponent will go with Halbs. And so we have hand cannons and we have bombard cannons now. And what a great decision here. It's costly on gold, but it says he has 30 on gold now. I mean, these are the villagers on gold, though. Okay, which tech was it? Okay, the hand cannons have 9 range now. So that was not the Grand Trunk Road tech, but it was actually the Shiitagni tech, which gives the hand cannons 9 range. They outrange Arbalest. We see a great tech to go for. And one of the many reasons why we talk about how Hindustanis are just insane. It used to be +1. Now it's +2 range on hand cannons. So Halbs might not cut it now. Your knights can't cut it because the camels have the bonus damage. And Barles, 170 villagers. Or sorry, 170 pop, but he's killing villagers now with the light cav. He's going to be pushing back this castle as well. He's got a nice little choke point to work with. I love the switch to the light cav. I think a lot of players would rely on full gold units here to push up the middle, but he's already got that mass that he wants. They're just trying to take his opponent off of resources, and bro's kind of falling off here. And I guess the choice is going to be Cavalier. Yes, he's got 3 relics, so he's got 12 + 5 attack. But he needs to meet the hand cannons and bomber cannons in an open field, I feel. Maybe why he built this castle, because now it's a bit easier for him to take engagements, possibly. It's crazy how easy it is for guys to pop up. I guess the extra 20 to 30 population they have on water just eases them up towards 200 pop. But, you know, we haven't seen any big battle, main army versus main army fights yet. And still we have both players at 200 pop. Here come more light cav. Again, I like the idea. I would say, though, you're going to have to make sure that you have some camels in the main group. If you see this, you need to have some camels in the main group. And here we go. Those hand cannons are hitting from a long way away. You also have the castle fire. I think this comes down to how many hand cannons are remaining after this. Because overall, obviously, the trebs are going to go down. Oh, man, the units, I think, regrouped a couple times there. But in the end, Barles will back up. And those Halbs, guys, they're nowhere to be found. 150 pop for bro as we have more raids from Barles. Barles! I thought he was throwing this. But he's raiding on both sides. Also has the main death ball pumping. Even getting siege engineers now for extra range on his siege. Honestly, with 45 army versus 30, bro needs to win with numbers here. I don't think his army is going to be able to compete in terms of strength. I think it's all about numbers. And it's going to be tricky for him to be able to deal with the raids and also deal with the main fight right now. And that's why Barles is doing it. He's got good vision. I love this. He's got a stable over here, so we could spam some light cap from that stable. We have a bomber cannon now from Bros. He tries to use his own push back. Of course, not having siege engineers. We do have Halbs here, though. Like, this could be good. Barles has to run away now. I think this is a key area of the map. And I guess Barles was going to take the stone or something, and the cav are actually there. So, bro, not wanting to have his cav in the main fight, instead has sent his cav to the side, which should mean the camels have to react. We see a lot of villagers have gone down there, and now the Treb gets sniped. But a bomber cannon's lost for Bros. He's still desperate to keep this up. 170 population for both players right now. Random Hussars will make it in, get some value here. That could add up. The cav here have gone down, though. There's only 5 Cavalier now for Bro. And the golden comes faster. Your villagers are cheaper. Your hand cannons have 9 range. Your camels more bonus attack. You have Halb. You have Hussar. Bonuses. The list of bonuses with the Hindustanis is just so long. It's pretty long with the Lithuanians as well, right? I think the big thing in this particular matchup is taking advantage of the water, which Bro had done, and then his advantage was wasted. I think because of the villagers just not being sorted out in that one area. I think he would have had a whole lot more military. I don't think he ever would have lost ground. If 59 on food versus 50, so both players can spam some trash units right now. These Hussars go in. Hussars will have to keep moving, but the Bombard Cannon continues to fire on the castle. We're going to have another castle here from Barles. Would have preferred it here, but he maybe doesn't want to be spotted. I love how he's just tossing away the Hussars. It's not that big a deal for him. He has the food income to waste. And you can see just how difficult it is to react all the time if you're Bruh. Might actually keep this Bomber Cannon alive, but I'm not sure he can keep the castle up right now. And even though Bruh has 4 relics and just clears up those Hussars, and even though Bruh's population is higher, right now, at this present time, I give the edge to Barles because of his unit composition. Yeah, you might be tempted to go skirmishers if you're Lithuanians, but doing so is not good if your opponent has fully upgraded Hussar. Or we could talk about the unique unit as well, right? It never ends. So I think in this instance, he's just got to hope that he can catch armies out and take good engagements, but Barles has had the initiative. If Barles wasn't raiding, it would maybe be a little different. But Barles has had the initiative, and he's been hitting different spots, and it's just been all Barles here. These hand cannons, man, are destroying. He doesn't even need to maybe mix in camels now that he's got this many hand cannons. He could just go Hussar with the hand cannons. I think the end could be near for Bro. And what an important moment for Barles. Guys, Barles is in last place. He has 1 win from 6 games, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Robo, can you tell me, I guess Barles has to play twice this week then? Because it's technically week 4. This looks like it's going to be his 3rd round. Bro has more wins on the board, but is in 4th place. So both players need results. And again, I just question, how do you stop the Hindustanis? And how do you stop this composition? The answer would be get a lead a bit earlier. That time has passed. We do have the Winged Hussar. Lithuanian Winged Hussars are about on par, though, I'd say, with the regular Hussars. Also, 60 on food. Winged Hussars, they're going to loop around here. Actually, a really good engagement for the Winged Hussars. A couple hand cannons go down. Bomber cannons also go down. So this Bomber Cannon has been able to get some big shots on the hand cannons there. Not bad. Like, maybe if this gets to a point where the Indian player doesn't have gold. Or, sorry, Hindustani player doesn't have gold. He's still making more barracks, so he's thinking about more halbs. Now, only 9 hand cannons now, so maybe more halbs could do something for you. Thinking about gold and stone, I mean, Barles can see everything with the outposts. Barles has 75 on food right now, so he's going to go for full Hussars. Could honestly consider going Gulams. Or maybe even his own Halberdiers here. There's quite a few options we haven't seen him try and tech switch into at this point. Barles is playing again on Thursday. Nice. Okay, cool. Who's he play against on Thursday? A massive clear up there for Bro, but it is still reacting. I love the walls here from Barles, just in case. He knows what type of game this is going to be. Could even do the same on the right side, possibly. And Bro is not going away quietly. He is not going away quietly, and he has tons of gold. Okay, so Barles will play Yo in round 4. Yeah, so it's so important that he gets this win then. And all the other wins he can from this series. We do have ranges. So this will probably be Skirmisher. It would be really interesting to see Cav Archer right now. With that much gold, what do you guys think about that? Lithuanians don't have the best Cav Archers, but at least Cav Archer could contribute against the Hussars. Also, I think we maybe have to question Barles not getting his attack upgrades. Where's Barles going to get gold? Don't tell me this is going to be a comeback from Bruh. He says, screw the Hindustanis, bruh. Screw it. Actually, this is gold is a really important talking point. There's 4 tiles of gold here, and then there's gold here as well. Don't tell me we're going to play on until we completely run out of gold. There's the ranges. It is heavy cav archer. Heavy cav archer. That's crazy, man. Yeah, so there's a little bit of gold here. I think that gold is going to disappear faster than you think, but at least bro does have 4, at least he has the 4 relics. So we're not talking about the relics because of the extra attack on the Cavalier now. But for heavy cav archers, you need that gold flow, and he's going to have it for that at least. These are the areas that Barles has to win the game with. And, oh, but the Hussars are through, and this is just so annoying. See, because if you get through here, you can send another wave over here. And if you can send another wave there, you can move right up the middle. And you can see, I think bro's expecting this. Now, bro's a very good late game player. He has played a lot of deathmatch, but dealing with Hussar raids still not the most convenient thing in the world. Well, I don't know if Gulam is that good at this stage just simply due to the lack of gold. And I agree with the statement in chat that while Gulams are a very good unit, at the end of the day, you probably need to have elite, right? And he would, I mean, this guy still doesn't have full blacksmith attack upgrades on his Hussars, so he would also need blacksmith upgrades there, and I think that would just take a lot of time. So if you have 80 on food, as Barles is getting so many villager kills, look at the eco KD there. If you have 80 on food, I think you just continue to do what you're doing. But we have the 4 trebs from bro, and the cav archers, guys, I mean, they will be able to snipe down everything he's up against from range. It's the first time that bro has had a real ranged comp in a long time. Remember, he had crossbows before. Still, the Hussars are finding insane value, and also even had this dock go up. So all the fish traps back there have gone down. But now have we reached a point where the Hindustanis are actually being not just outmassed, but like outperformed with their army composition. This cav archer play seemed like a really good switch. Still no armor upgrades, but this is also an area where Barles needs gold. Holy crap, though! At the same time, Barles is killing more villagers. He's at 150 villager kills, but he's also losing ground. Look at the eco for bro, but oh my god. Like, Barles is just hoping that his opponent won't be able to make much more. But at a certain point, he is going to need a unit to engage against these cav archers. Maybe he's got to go skirms himself right now. Maybe he needs to drop some ranges. We are going to see a castle here, which could mean more stone control for the Brazilian. Still, the Hussars are getting kills. 150 pop for bro. Barles is probably feeling good about that. But he's also, like, probably thinking, are you kidding me? Like, how have I not been able to deal with this? This death ball's insane. Dang, man. This game is insane. I mean, we obviously had the disconnect earlier and the restore, and we had a couple, issues here. They're getting it started. I think both players showed first game of the series vibes. A little bit of hesitation here or there. Some misplays here or there. But what a game. What a ridiculous game this is. Another castle could go down, but we do have a bomber cannon back here. And that bomber cannon is trying to get the trebs. It got one. Like, I think for Barles, he actually is at a point where he needs to engage against the main army. That's the thing. The Hussars raiding did their job, but now that you've got an eco lead, you need to be able to trade against the main army, and we'll see if he can do that. There's only 20 cav archers. So, I mean, the choke point's just fantastic for the cav archers, but there's only 20 of them. There's also only 2 trebuchets. We'll see here. Another treb will go down. And actually, the Halbs aren't engaging for some reason. And Barles is going to push this back, guys. He does have enough Hussars. And actually, he can kill these cav archers with his hand cannons now. Also, bomber cannon. Surprised he's able to afford so many of them. He'll push forward there. He can take his gold back. Also, more raids. Man, these stables were so nice. This is an area bro really needs to lock down. This is a castle now that Barles needs to deal with. But he's not just focused on his death ball. He's focused on the raids. It's constant. So he feels like bro is very exposed on the flanks compared to his opponent. Like, over here, the stone wall's nice and early for Barles. He's never had to worry about these areas. Also, Barles was able to catch up on the blacksmith upgrades. Again, 83 on food. Now you just continue to dive Hussars underneath things like it's nothing. What a great game. We passed an hour mark here. $40 per win, obviously. So that's huge. Also, maybe not a position Barles wants to be in. Bro, intentionally using the castle to target the hand cannons. But yeah, $40 per win. But the biggest thing here is their standings in the group. Neither player wants to be relegated. Both players want to stay up in platinum. Cav Archer goes in. Oh, it's so expensive to lose those, but maybe it's worth it. Also, we have a Cannon Galleon from Barles, which is epic. That's epic. If he can take out the dock, that Cannon Galleon's going to do more raiding than the Hussars can do. I love that. By the way, Barles, his woodline's here, right? Like, both players are going to have exposed woodlines. This area is exposed. We actually are going to have a castle here, so we can put an end to this. We'll see if that goes up. This woodline's exposed. This area is exposed. Here come the Hussars. They'll run right into the Cav Archers, though. And the Halbs. But I still think it's worth it. As long as you queue up more, just keep sending them in. And then you build up this mass as much as you can. This isn't walled yet. That Cannon Galleon is a clutch move, man. That Cannon Galleon's amazing. This castle, I think, will complete, but more losses have been taken. And guys, Bro has not been above 100 eco in a long time. Look at that eco KD again. So many villagers have gone down. Now, if the roles were reversed, it would perhaps make it a bit closer because Barles has cheaper villagers, but you're paying full price for villagers. 200 villagers now lost in this game. And that's going to continue. I don't care if you even have the castles up in the flank. I mean, the Hussars will still be able to run in. And so I think Barles is getting closer to the point where he can close out this game. The crucial thing for him is he has to do it soon because this is the last gold he's working off of. He takes this fight. He'll pull. This is what he wants to do. Pulls right back into those long-range hand cannons. That's a perfect engagement. He's got a Treb and he's got a Bombard Cannon. It's 140 population right now for Bro. The fact that he had to pull Cav Archers home to deal with raid shows you how bad his eco is right now and how worried he is. Every time a Hussar dies, there's always a new Hussar. Here we go. These Hussars go in for the repair vills. Why not? Why not? The goal is just to take the castle out. Now, we might need to back away here as we have the Winged Hussars and the Cav Archers. They're going to dive in for the hand cannons. Any gold unit you snipe right now on either side is so valuable. And the Bombard Cannon goes down, but the Trebs do the job. And the hand cannons are still there. We're making more Halbs. Where's his Monastery? Yeah, his Monastery's here. Feels like that's safe. The rest of the Cav Archers are going to come forward. Army count is 70 to 70 right now, but Bro's eco is still so weak. That's why he hasn't had the Halb number. It's why his population's only 160. But, I mean, he's been able to get by. Somehow, he's been able to get just enough. Both players confidently taking this fight. And look at the Cav Archers. You see how they're being microed? He's trying to whittle down those hand cannons. He's also got this main group killing the Hussars. And this game is going to continue, man. This game is going to continue. The heavy Cav Archers are doing so well right now. I think so anyways. Maybe not, though. The Hussars can run right past the castle like we said. The Cannon Galleon somehow went down. I mean, I still continue to look at what Barles has queued. And he has a lot of Hussars queued. But his hand cannon number's at 13. And the Cav Archer number's at 25. If Bro can lock down the sides of his base, like maybe he needs some stone walls and just hold the middle for a little bit, maybe his army comp's better in the long run. My goodness, this is a ridiculous game. The population, though, is very low for Bro at the moment. And it's not, he hasn't lost more eco, it's just that he's unable to get up to 70 army again. So that's what he has to work on. So the Cav Archers have to be the goal here. Would love to see him to just spend all of his wood and gold on Cav Archers, because I think that's the key. Is slowly trying to deal with this on the sides. Is adding another TC and another TC to get higher vill count. The guy has 50 farmers, but he doesn't have the space or the position to raid. A little bit of a gap here. Barles with a little bit of extra gold income. 130 pop versus 180. Can Barles close this out? He's got the Trebs. He's going for guard tower now. He's also going to collect more stone. He's taking out production buildings. 700 kills for both. This is an area that could be raided if Bro was in the same position, right? He's not, though. And he has to add more barracks, and now more hussars are going to go in. That 83 on food stat, now 84 on food stat, has been constant. That has been consistent. That has never wavered, never changed. And as Bro expands his eco, a wave of hussars arrive. Also, the cannon galleon's taking out the castle here. No way. Can you hit that with the Latus? Yeah, he's checking. I think he actually can hit that with the Latus. Barles has played so well this game, as his Bro. The Latus will actually take out the cannon galleon. If he micros that, he's a god. I would never pay attention to that at this point. Okay, so the castle stays up. That's actually really important for Bro. I don't know, guys. His population's so low. He's losing more buildings. He's sinking so much food into just trying to get his Vil count back up. Sorry, I just hit my microphone with my chair. And the waves of hussars are just going to continue. At this point, there's 0 on gold for Barles. He's got that 1 relic, and that's it. But does he need gold? He still might need gold. He still might not have an answer to like 30, 40 cav archers, but he's just avoiding them. Trying to push the sides, and he's done such a great job at that. The raids here have added up. The raids here have added up. Now we're going to see some stone walls from Bro. And I'm not seeing that cav archer number high enough. In fact, we have Barles with more hand cannons now than the cav archers. The trebs just can't be addressed. Maybe this is finally it. Again, there were lots of different things to talk about in this game. Like, I feel like Bro wasn't able to take advantage of the opportunities that he maybe should have or could have because of his villagers all collecting in that weird spot of the map for whatever reason. And then Barles took control, and then Barles kind of lost control as Bro pushed back. So much eco at one stage. I think it was like 110 eco and only 15 military for both players when they were arriving to Imp. But in Imp, man, the fights have really continued here. But Barles just had that better outlook. The stone walls, the safe castles, and the farm count. He had the better late game outlook despite not having the relics. Barles could use a few more stables. He does have the stables. He's just not, maybe doesn't have them all producing. Or Capture Age isn't showing it. I don't know why Capture Age is only showing 2. I guess it doesn't show when units are queued. But no, he's actually fine there. It said he's pop capped. He has 12 stables. And he's so sick of this castle, he's just going to use the hussars for it. He says, who cares? Also goes in with more hussars on this side. This castle will go down. I'm pretty certain anyways. Yep, looks like it will. Worth it. I like how he didn't try and overextend with the trebs, you know, just slowly taking out the buildings. Casually drops the castle in the middle, just swinging hussars to both sides. And yeah, guys, I think this is going to be the end for Bro. He's probably kicking himself. He does have more cav archers than he did a few moments ago. But soon he could lose the relics, which is the only separated between the two players right now. It's just one player has more gold income. I mean, it's not the only separator. Obviously, Barles has the farm count, but Barles will continue to have the farm count. Yeah, it looks like Capture Age. I actually didn't notice this before. It only shows the dots when units are producing out of multiple docks. Or buildings, excuse me. I guess it would apply to docks as well, but yeah, that's the reasoning. The relics are going to pop out here. Population's 140 now for Bro. He's just going to make another monastery back here, but he has to kill this now. He does get his walls down. We do have an armored elephant trying to break through, though. Okay, maybe the final fight. Can Bro bring it back? 32 cav archers. What a great choice that was. I thought it was game over until he switched into the cav archers. But nah, I just don't see it. Like, that ball needs to be preserved. That ball cannot deal with all the hussars and the elephants and everything that's going to come in on either side. And the GG's finally called. What a crazy way to start off the series. Dang. So, you know, it's impossible for me to sum up the whole game because we did have that restore. But it really felt to me like Bro opened up this game and said, I'm going to play cross. I'm going to focus on the pawns. That's what you have to do on this map. And Barles, with his Civ pick and how he played Castle Age, said, well, you know what? I'm not really good at focusing on all the pawns, so that's not really for me. I'll try. He kind of tried to get some fishing ships in the north. But he said, nah, how about we screw that plan and we just go for a civ that everyone's picking on Arabia these days, and I'll show you what they're made of. So he went for the camels, the skirms, the hand cannons this game, and he made it happen. He just did not really focus on water heavily in the mid game. I think for bro, like, and I forget what point it was exactly, forgive me. I think it was like 22 minutes. But yeah, like the villagers just continued to collect here. So he would have had the lead, or at least it would have been even. And he sent maybe like 15 or 20 villagers here. Like villagers, they're not the biggest fan of being in bro's base. Look at this. Idle after idle after idle after idle after idle just collects there. And I think that's why Barles was able to push out so freely, because Barles just had more villagers working. Like, this was really bad, guys. It was for 10 minutes. And obviously the game ended up going much later, but imagine if this doesn't happen and then bro plays it exactly as he played it. Maybe he snowballs a victory a bit earlier. I finally realized, of course, way later in the game, but I think that was probably like the thing you look back to if you're bro and say, that should have been addressed. That should have been something that I dealt with. And you shouldn't look now, right? You should just move on to the next game. But, man, this is making things very interesting at the bottom of Group B. Because, again, bro's 4th place. Barles is 6th place. Now Barles has a win, and we're going to move on to game number 2. There's the KD for you. Crazy game. There's the eco. It was all about that wood and food, though, for Barles. He didn't necessarily need the gold there in the end, or the stone. And I think the next game is going to be on a more closed map as well. Okay, so game number 2 here. And, you know, the Hindustanis and the Gurjaras, man, there's been a lot of bans on those civs. When they're not banned, they've been picked. And Barles won with the Hindustanis in the first game. He says, yo, what's up? I'm going for the Gurjaras in the second on Fortified Clearing, which is bro's home map. Now, I don't know how much you guys have followed, but if you saw bro's set against Yo 2 weeks ago in the first round when he beat Yo 2-1, he played as the Poles on this map against the Burgundians. And man, did he look good. He looked so good. Got that victory against Yo by sneaking villagers and then using that amazing Polish economy and spam. While the Gurjaras are very strong and I think in need of a nerf and OP, blah, 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 blah. You could maybe say the same thing about Poles. I don't know. But like while the Gurjaras have some, let's just say, potential balance issues, I don't necessarily think they are top tier on this type of a map. I think they're good in Arabia. I think they're good in more standard land maps. But we said the same thing about maybe Hindustanis in the previous game on Cross, did we not? And Barles got the win there with the Hindustanis. So clearly, he has a lot of faith in these 2 new civilizations that are absolutely stacked with bonuses. Bro, choosing this map, this is his home map, right? So he likes the closedness of it. And he's already going to start walling up, so I'm going to assume he's going to go for Fast Castle. But I do think on paper, if you factor out the economy, that Gurjaras basically destroy the Poles here. I think that if they were to go for any of their options, particularly the Chakram Thrower and their camels, I think that Poles could have some issues in this one. We'll see, though. But yeah, most likely going to be Fast Castle. There's always the potential for feudal age play. For Barles, he put all 8 of his sheep inside of his mill. That's giving him a trickle of food eco. That's like, what, 1.5, maybe 2 villagers on food equivalent? Never idles. Very strong. And yeah, he's just going to push in his deer for now. Nothing too crazy as far as the map is concerned here. We do have 3 relics on the right side and then 1 relic on the left. That can happen sometimes. There's always 4 relics on the outside. Okay. Both players having the gold and the stone kind of position near their walls towards the center. Yeah, again, just not seeing anything too out of the ordinary. Occasionally we can have some weird generations. You know, it's a good day. Some people were saying notifications didn't work for when I went live today, but apparently the bots were notified. So, also Marwan, welcome. He says first time on stream, long time YouTube fan. Welcome, welcome. I'll be live for the next 5 hours casting, my friend. So glad you could make it. Also, Kyle, hello. Stormblessed, what's up? Teddy, Cavfrav, Duke. Yeah, Duke. I think that the Olbuk is definitely the go-to unit for the Poles here. But the tricky thing is you don't have that discount like you do on the Knights. So I think what I would do with Poles, obviously after a lot of things happen, but in an ideal world, I think I would open with the Cavalier to force my opponent into camels. And then I would go into the unique unit, the Olbuch. But, and it's tricky because then the opponent can go Chakram Thrower. And then Chakram Thrower is actually quite good against Arb as well, so. But I've been saying this about the Gujaras. Yes, they kind of have the answer to everything. And wow, well, hold on a second. Barles is going up. What? Barles is not going fast castle. And neither is Bruh. Wait a second. Whoa. We might actually have both players go forward with villagers here, guys. I remember in the Bruh and Yo game that Bruh had gone forward with villagers with poles. So he's walled up, and he maybe wants to go to the middle. The stone walls only have 900 HP. Yes, I do think if you force the Gurjaras away from their stable units, and you force the poles away from their stable units, you feel better about things. So it's actually the same with both. That's where it's funny, because they both have really good unit options from their stables. I mean, this could just be for eco upgrades here for Barles. This could be a build order that he's figured out is strong. I do think it's very strong. And actually, we could have the same exact thing for Bruh, who is thinking about it clearly. Man, they both might freak out, too. Like, they both might think, oh my god, what's my opponent doing here? But yeah, it's just going to be fast feudal into eco upgrades. Oh, wait. Okay, villager's now going forward. Okay, well then, I don't like this then. I'm going to tell you why. If you're going to do this, you want your villagers to be there when you hit feudal. So, while it is a strategy I've seen have success, it feels like wasted time right now for the Brazilian. Yep, Barles goes for his wood upgrade. Barles goes for his farm upgrade. And I think he's going to swing his camel home so we can maybe peek into the middle to see what's happening. Normally, the villagers would be attacking already, and the tower would already be up. This is very, very late. But yeah, I mean, you can break through this. Barles is now going to see this. And Barles is just going to drop his own tower here. So far, not super convinced, but you do have to remember that the Polish economy is generally pretty strong. It's not strong, though, if you don't get your wood or your farm upgrades, so I'm not a fan. Love the idea from the counter tower from Barles. And I don't think Barles is going to have any problems here. Does garrison 5 villagers? Go ahead and shoot it down. Like, yeah, the Poles do receive a little bit of gold income when they mine stone, but look at the resources right now for Barles. Granted, he does have 0 farms, so it's going to... The food count will go down and then back up, but I like how he's played this. I see an archer range now, and there's that camel just scouting to see what's happening. So I think the safe play is you probably just place a mining camp on stone so you can make more towers. The concern is if he... he's trying to run out. What's happening? He didn't delete his walls. The villager's path there. Wait a second. 3 villagers in this tower. These villagers now going out to battle down this tower. This camel needs to come home. Messy stuff. Oh, the scout came in, though. Oh, the scout came in. And also the spearman could get hit by the tower. Okay, tower's going to go down. But I really wonder if Bro's happy with this. Because if I were in his shoes, I'd be a little worried that my tower rush was late. But if I see my opponent just sending villas all around and I'm not losing any. He did lose 1, but I wouldn't be super disappointed. Okay. Here come the archers. Obviously, he needs to start battering away. And for Barles, he can't make another tower right now. So, needs to focus on that. Again, pay attention to the food counts here. Because now he has the food at 500, but he's only got 5 on food as he needs to seed farms. And then for Bruh, he will slowly start to seed farms around his mill. You get 10% of the farm's food cost. Or food amount, sorry, when you complete the farm around the full work. And, you know, the Archer Edition is just a way to spend the gold that you're getting. And you've got some nice little control of the middle right now. So, yeah, I'm kind of liking this more and more now for Barles. What I would have liked to have seen from him is instead of just delaying the mining camp here, which he continues to do, I would have preferred to see him just send 2 villagers to stone and then just drop a tower here and you're okay. And you don't even need to build it to contest his tower like you did with the first one, but just build it so if he comes in, he hits a tower. He's about to get the stone he needs for another tower, though, so maybe he will place it. But, like, now your opponent's in with army, and now you got to really ask questions. And, yeah, this pressure slowly paying off here, I think. He's clearly trying to go up to Castle Age. He has the market. He actually needs the blacksmith right now, so the timing on this needs to be quick. Meanwhile, second full work. Keep an eye on the food count for the Brazilian. Cool stuff. If I were bro, I'd be disappointed at the low food eco. Well, I think the timing on it could have been better, but ultimately you're always going to be behind on some of those farms compared to other civs. If you're going forward like this anyways, you're going to have that right. He made all the buildings, so his wood's gone into other things. This is smart, though. He's just going to complete the tower, and then he's going to send his archers in the tower to fill the rest of it. But yeah, I don't know. Not the prettiest game from either player so far. The biggest thing I want to talk about is, will Barles be able to drop a TC in the next stage? Because he could buy the stone if he wants to go for a TC. He's going to be fine, actually. It looks like he's just going to shoot this down. But, like, now I'm also kind of confused. Why not? If you're making archers, why not try and contest this still? You're still on stone. Your opponent's not. I don't know. What a kind of a weird game for me. Market for bro. He doesn't want to lose his villagers. Maybe he just wanted to have some forward pressure. Did lose one vill. Obviously, there's no way for his opponent to easily damage him. Okay, this is important. I think he's going to send a vill out. Try and wall this side off. The long term, that could be really good. We'll probably see him add a palisade. Or not. Okay. The scout is actually over here right now for Bro. Or Barles, excuse me. And there's no hole there. And the archers and the spearmen are going to go this way. I really like this. This camel's going to be trapped in here. But yeah, if this isn't tracked at all, this could be really strong. I think you could definitely justify making a scout to send to the outer ring right now for your Barles. See how he's not making a gate on either side? He's very much focused in the middle, and then maybe the whole strat for Bro was to just get him hyper-focused on the middle so he could focus on the outer ring. He's on the way to Castle Age. He's adding a stable, and here he comes with his army, and here he comes with the Vil. Now, he doesn't have any scouting on the outside, so where he's walling is going to be interesting to see. He actually brought a spearman over to protect this villager too. Obviously, like a super forward wall would be nice, but I think walling this area is just the safest play because you don't have to wall as much as you do if you go towards the corners. All right, meanwhile, we have a couple Shravamshas out in the middle. This is a unit that is designed to counter archers, but it also counters other things, or at least does a really good job against them, especially based on their cost because they're very cheap. We do have the second and third town center now for Barles. Dang! So yeah, he's gonna get a big Vil lead here. So I like the idea from Bro to wall the sides. Obviously, though, he's gonna need to catch up in the middle. And that seems to be where Barles will focus. I'm sure Barles will eventually switch some units to the outer ring. But by the time he does that, the walls might already be down, so. And we'll see if this small little army has anything to say about things. Oh, the Shravamshas ran in. The Shravamshas ran in, I think, because the scout was running out. And there's nothing worse than Shravamshas raiding your base. I know there's a long list of things that are that really suck to be raided by, but I feel like Shravamshas is at the top of the list right now because they're so fast. In the end, though, a little sloppy for Barles. Maybe that'll be dealt with. And again, I like the game flow for Bro in terms of the long term on the sides. And now 45 eco versus 37. And we are going to see all this middle stuff pushed back. We even see a villager here in the middle for Barles making some outposts. All right. So to review what Bro had done when he was up against Yo is he used the sides and he snuck Vils and had stables. And those stables raided Yo to the point where Yo couldn't focus on the middle quite as much. So every time Yo, who had the lead in that game, was trying to push the middle, he kept getting hit on the sides. And so I think that game plan could definitely work here for Bro. Right now, though, he's got to be so annoyed at this Shravamsha. It's so fast. And, you know, you could just run away with this and not even micro it anymore, but Barles wants to because he doesn't want these Knights and Spearmen to go to the middle. We actually do have a Spearman here from Bro, and Barles may be too distracted microing the other one. Having some problems there. Right now, 0 relics collected. Nice little army here on this side for Bro, just scouting as we see more walls. Another villager. He might go for more walls. The wood and the farm upgrade now in for Bro. 3 TCs, 56 villagers versus 44, though. So, I don't know, man. I mean, pretty interesting game. We still have to ask some big questions on what the players are going to go for. And right now, I'm a little uncertain. Obviously, we have the stables up for both. I think there's big reasons for the Polish player to not want to go for the stable, as this villager will get sniped. That reason would be Gurjaras do 50% more bonus damage. But at the same time, there's always that reason of maybe I should go for it because my stable units will be cheaper after my unique tech. So, I don't know. Lots of back and forth mentally right now, I guess. Relic count's at the bottom. That's 0 to 0 right now. Barles is going to find out for the first time, though, that there's walls here. And that might prompt him to check the other side as well, where he's now actually getting hit by something. I'm sure he'll be over there. Still have to pay attention as the scout gets converted. Yeah, we still very much have to pay attention to the middle. We have to see if more conversions happen. And Barles is clearly distracted here, but he could get a conversion on a knight. What are you doing? I don't think Bro knew, guys. What the? Okay, he does get the conversion. I don't think Bro knew that there was a second monk there. I think he just remembered losing that scout, and he wanted to kill the one monk. It's super worth it for him there, but he does have some spearmen. He does have one relic. We'll see if he kills the traitor. Both knights actually super weak here. Both knights one shot away from going down. Sravamsha, not like Lightcalf, so they do not resist any conversions. And that's going to be 1-2. And unfortunately not going to be 3. But we'll see if the monk survives. Looks like that monk will end up going down. And this is smart from Barles. He says, okay, well, that's a good idea. I'm just going to wall behind your walls because you have a gate there. And I don't want you sneaking in here. So Barles benefited from having a pretty good eco start to Castle Age, but he hasn't had the relic count that maybe he would want. And while he does clear this up, he does have to pay attention to this all the time and be really paranoid about the sides. Here we have this Ravamshas, switching sides, of course, after the conversions. Sniping the monk, 2 relics for Bro. This seems like a freebie, and this seems like a freebie. So let's say he'll at least get 4, maybe 5, maybe more, who knows? Also, Barles did add the 4th TC, which is something that his opponent did not do. I like the 4th TC addition here. I think this is going to go late. It doesn't feel like your opponent's going to push you an early imp, though that might also be the case. Who knows? So I think that decision's pretty good there. Yeah, players are normally pretty hesitant to add gold units. Like, Teddy, adding a camel would actually be a really bad idea because camels have they have very low attack. Delete these Barles. Delete them. Delete them. Okay, Bro deleted them, but I think he could have gotten away at that point. That's a smart move, though. But yeah, adding camels to the middle, I would disagree with. Because at least with a knight, if you're going to spend gold, it does a lot of damage with 10 attack, and it can kill the monks. But camels with 6 attack do so little attack to the monks, it's probably just going to get converted. So I think it was, it's tricky, but it was all going to be about what units you have out there and sniping the monks. Not necessarily like mixing in units that could be converted for free, especially like camels. Will Doubt vs. Classic Bro be casted today? I believe that's on the cards for us, yes. I believe that's on the cards for us. I'll read the sets after this. We have 4 sets after what I'm casting right now. I think that's set number 3. This is set number 1 for us. Oh my god. Okay. I can see what you guys are saying about the camels in the middle, though, by the way. I can see what you're saying. I don't want to, like, completely say that that's a ridiculous point, but it's always really, really tricky, especially when you're booming. Okay, Barles checking this is so wise. Okay, because this is precisely what Bro had done up against Yo. He made stables on the side and all the quick walls! And he was really annoying with it. And Barles having walled here and now trying to wall here. He knows how annoying that would be. He wants to be able to focus his attention on the middle. Oh, Jonathan, thanks for the stars, man. Thank you, thank you. Frontier Guards are a very good unit. Free, but I'm not sure Frontier Guard camels would necessarily be the play up against the Obuk. But again, all unique units, particularly infantry unique units, you normally don't open with that. That's very uncommon. Normally you open with something else and then switch into that later on. We have the Elite Trivamsha as the choice. That is the last unit that I expected to be chosen here. Because Trivamshas are good against archers. So maybe he's expecting... Ooh. Scary stuff. Yeah, maybe he's expecting his opponent to go Arbalest here. Doesn't really see a lot. He just sees the castle. He will see the castle has fletching, which might make him think potentially there's some ranged upgrades coming in, but... That stable unit, the Trivamsha, is the choice. Meanwhile, this is going to be dealt with. You can see how important these walls were, though, because these knights continue. The thing is, though, the walls will eventually go down. These are very cheap knights now after that unique tech there from the Poles. Okay, so one player has 2 castles in the middle. The other player has 1. But the player who has 2 castles has made all of his military on the outer ring right now. And he actually needs to get stables in the middle. Yeah, like right now, he needs to get stables in the middle. The beautiful thing of your Barls is you don't really need to switch out of your stable here. Like, I've seen no reason. I've seen nothing that would tell me that he needs to do that. Also, bro, distracted. Going to lose that Treb. Oh, that's a big loss. That's a big, big loss. As we now have 2 Trebs for Barls. I've also noticed both players go really crazy with the boom. In the previous game, again, it was like 120 vills for both and then 15 military at one point, which is not a lot. Constantly queuing up villagers. In this case, though, Barls has gone for the much bigger boom. And the Trivamsha just does not take much damage from the castle. He knows it. He goes in, and guys, bro's falling apart. He is falling apart. He's in 4th place in the group. If he were to lose to Barls here, it could put him in last. And the Treb will survive here. But, man, just now Cavalier coming in. And remember, the Obuk is a unit that you need the castles for. And that was the unit I was thinking that you would want. If you can't make the Obuk, you're completely screwed here, I think, against Heavy Camel. But Barls hasn't really made many Heavy Camels. As he goes for the gate save. No way! No way! He gets the full wall in on the Trebs. He does really need to make camels, though. And that gate could go down. I think it should go down. They don't have armor if they're not completed. There you go. In the end, for Barls, though, I think if he takes out the castle, he'll be somewhat satisfied with this. Heavy Camel still on the way. Needs to get his camel number up. Bombard Cannon, Cavalier is going to be all that bro has in the middle. Like, still, this is happening. So this could end up getting into the eco. So Barls has to respect that. And so I think after it's all been said and done, like, this has actually still been worth it. Obviously, maybe he would have wanted the numbers more towards the middle. And obviously, he's going to need something more as he's going to go Halb now. He's definitely going to need something more in the middle. But overall, I don't think the approach has been too terribly bad. And actually, his micro's been fantastic there. That was sick. And we'll lose the Bombard Cannon most likely. But able to take out a few trebuchets, that's not bad. Does feel like Barls now is in such a good spot, though, that he can actually justify sending camels this way. He can send 5 to 10 camels there. And now he can deny more of the stone, take more of the stone, and push forward. Guys, not only do the camels get additional melee armor, we haven't seen that tech yet, but they do 50% more bonus damage. I don't even think you can, like... I don't even think Halbs is that strong in this situation. And then your opponent has castles, and they can make chakram throwers, which are like throwing axemen scorpions that would wreck the house. I think bro is too low eco. He was low eco with double castle. He needed that Trebor to work. Wasn't able to make it happen. Talked a lot about the Gurjaras and the Hindustanis. Didn't have those civilizations banned at all or picked by bro. Game 1, Hindustanis got that victory. A crazy game. And game 2, Gurjara is looking strong here as well, as we now have the Elite Old upgrade, but that's out of 1 castle, guys. Oh, yeah, poles don't even get help. That's true. They only get pikes. Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, so I think that's clearly a desperation play. It poles kind of one of the worst civilizations with trash out there, right? They don't get help. Their skirmishers lack the final armor. Not the most convincing trash civilization anyways. Yeah, bro has some relics. He doesn't have a lot. Barl's... I like how little respect he's given this. He just keeps walling it. He wants all of his army to go forward. There he is with Siege Elephant on the way. These things wreck buildings, man. Yeah, so I think if this game played out into defensive castles for both, we would have maybe had that Cavalier Obuk combination. Or maybe potentially Arb Obuk combination, but that's not how the game played out. By the way, even if you want to raid, as we now see Elite Chakram Thrower, after the unique tech, all your units are like 25% off with food with the Gurjaras. And most of the units you make cost food, right? But if you want to raid, you could just go Hussars. That costs like, I forget what the cost is, but it's really, really low. Your units are cheaper, your options are strong, your early eco is strong. Lots of bonus damage involved with how the Civ plays out, and just don't know if this 95 HP unit, the Obuk, is going to be enough. I don't know if he's going to have numbers here. Does send the pikemen this way to deal with the camels, which is very much needed. Still attacking on the walls, trying to distract. Here are the Chakram Throwers. The Chakram Throwers on their own, though. The Obuk have shown up. And the Obuk are going to die as quickly as they arrived. And even though the population's at 150, I just don't see how you kill this comp. This comp is unkillable now. There's not many civilizations that can deal with full camel Chakram. I think you would need to have a civilization that would have, like, Alb Siege Onager or something. But yeah, this is a very, very good unit to mix in with the rest of the army. Guys, Barls, in his first round, I recall him playing against Velez. He was very close to winning 2 out of those 3 games, lost none of them, right? Then he was against Dragonstar. That was a crazy series. Could have won 2-1 there, I'd say. Could have won 3-0, but Dragonstar won 2-1. So this is his 3rd round. Like, was close to victories, but he wasn't able to get them. And having 1 win going into his 3rd round, and then having his 4th round be up against Yo, this is the series for him, man. Like, the series for both, honestly, to like get some wins before pain comes. And it's looking good. It's looking really good for him. I'm trying to do the math in my head. Forgive me for not having this memorized. But I think that Bro had 3 wins, and I think Barls had 1. If Barls wins this game, they're both officially tied in the group. And obviously there will still be the 3rd game to be played. Yeah, guys. Okay, Bombard Cannon seems like a good option, but man, this is just looking so rough right now for Bro. It doesn't feel like it's 170 pop for him, does it? Like, he's had to push back to the back corner here. These Chakram Throwers are so good against infantry. They're also not bad against archers either, as we have a forward castle for Barls now. Bro, 2 wins, Barls 1. Oh, it's 2 wins for Bro. Why did I think he had 3? Okay, I was wrong then. So at this point in time, they're tied, I guess. But obviously, you know, lots to be played out here. Here are the Chakram Throwers. They are a low HP unit, but look how much damage they do. They pass through all the enemy units. So if you go for melee, go for any standard unit, it's really tough. Also, pretty decent against Siege as well. I've had some situations where I've tried Onager against them. Obviously, straight Chakram, maybe a little tricky still, but players at this level able to micro them down. I would love to see the Hussar edition, just to snipe some Siege now, if that's the problem for you, if you're Barls. There he goes. Getting some good hits. Very satisfying to watch these things work when they're not up against you. Olbuk's going down. Siege Elephant's here. The Siege Elephant actually really needs to be dealt with right now. The disco throwers, guys. The disco throwers. The camels are actually going to go in for the cannon. Screw Halb, I guess. There's Frontier Guard, so he has additional melee armor now. The Trebs will go down. The castle could end up going down here to the Trebuchet behind from Barles and the Siege Elephants. Villagers eject. 140 pop for Bro. It's 190 population for Barles with tons of units in queue right now. And I just don't see what you do. Again, with the pulls, we're not necessarily talking about unit strength. Usually we're just talking about how many of them you're able to afford. With the Gurjaras, it's actually about the unit strength and then also about how many of them you can afford because their units are cheaper. So it's one of the rare situations where, like, normally I would say, okay, well, the person who's up against pulls is going to have the stronger options, but it's going to be a lot more expensive. It's not that much more expensive with the unique tech and with how like the base cost of some of these units anyways, right? Like, the Chakram thrower is very cheap. The Shravamsha rider is quite cheap. I guess the, you know, the siege and whatnot, maybe not that cheap. Camel's normal price, but still. I can't help but think back to the 4 TC from Barles, though. He had the eco lead already, and then he added the 4th town center. And so they both ended up in Imp in the middle of the map, but one player had a 30 Vil lead, and that 30 Vil lead is one out here. 2-0 for Barles. Again, as we've said, fantastic result for him so far. And, you know, for Bruh, I was unconvinced with the timing of the feudal age pressure initially. It felt like he was playing catch-up from there, right? He was much later to Castle Age after his feudal age pressure didn't do anything. I did like the walls. I did like the sneaky stables. I think all that was really good. Barles locked it down, though. And the big thing is, why go fast feudal to go forward, and then you're a minute and a half late to arriving to his base? It just felt a little unconvincing there. Economically, 77,000 resources brought in by Barles, so he definitely won the Boom War. Didn't have as many relics, of course, but that didn't matter. There was a pretty big difference between the castle times. I mean, 2 minutes isn't that big of a deal if you actually succeed in some way in forcing Barles back into his base. But there was even that one instance where he had a tower with archers inside, and Barles had a tower with villagers inside, and Barles had no stone. So he couldn't actually play the repair war because he didn't have stone, because it was denied. But then also, Bro has Polish villagers that heal up, and he had archers. So even in like Tower War, where you're repairing and whatnot with some vills, if you have 1 or 2 vills repairing and inside a tower, and then the rest is archers, and your opponent has 5 vills, your eco's better off because they have more villagers idle. That's kind of half the strategy idea if you're going to add archers. Like, no one adds the archers thinking they're actually going to kill villagers and run into their base. They add archers to win the Tower War. So what I don't get, it was like right here. This. Why? You have stone. Like, why? You have stone. You have Polish vills that can repair. You have archers. You invested into fletching. He did not. Why? Not even try and contest this. That was a very weird move. Maybe something I should have talked about more. Because then Barles, he's just like, oh, okay, that's actually really good for me. Because then I can just buy stone and drop a TC. I don't have to lose any vills. They don't have to stay idle. And yeah, quick 2-0. Or not really a quick 2-0, but a good 2-0 for Barles so far. And the final map's going to be Arabia here, guys. Okay, so these guys are quick to start the games. Apologies for the speed. Apologies that Bro continues to change keep his color on orange. I'm actually going to put him on red here just because it's easier to see on this terrain, so hopefully that's not too hard to follow. But we have game 3. Feels like a must-win for both players. As it stands, Bro is now behind Barles in the standings, which was not the case before this series started. Obviously, more games to be played. But, you know, for Barles, he's got Yo coming up in his next round, and I forget who else he has yet to face. I actually think he has to face Hera. Has he faced Hera yet? I forget. Forgive me. But anyways, every win is important. We could see whoever wins this series or wins this next game even make the difference between being in 4th or 5th place at the end of the group. We have Bro playing as the Aztecs. We have Mayans then for Barles. So we have a Meso War, which we've seen before. And the map is Arabia, which was the home map for Barles. Also, Barles had... Oh, my God. Barles' base is incredible. Oh, my God. I mean, it's not the best base I've ever seen. But for Mayans in particular, where they want to go archers with walls, look at this. Easy wall off to this house. Wall here, and then wall towards the TC. This guy probably doesn't need the stone in the long run. Obviously, these golds are going to be important. But just to start off in Feudal Age, this is going to be an amazing map for him. And I do always prefer the Mayans in a Meso War these days. Aztec starting with more gold, though, can always do some strong things with Man-at-Arm opening. I'd say the more open the map is in this matchup, the better it is for Aztecs because of how they pressure early Feudal. But the more closed the map is, the better civs like Chinese or Mayans are going to be. So that is a pretty good map there for Barles. He'll know it, too. He's not going to take any risks here. Barles actually has some pretty sick straight archer builds. I remember him going 18 pop archers at one point on the ladder a month or two ago. He probably won't do it with Mayans, but he's certainly no stranger to that. I know when many people think of Barles, they do think of maybe his macro in the mid game. Yeah, here goes Bro. He's going to go for a barracks. He's going to want to do damage with militia. And here he goes to find his opponent. Sorry, guys. Just going to drink some water real quick because it's going to be a really long day. So Bro played really good against Yo. I thought Yo had some questionable picks, but I don't think that Yo massively underperformed when he played against Bro. I think Bro played really well. I forget all the games at this point. But no, I mean, we've even seen instances today, and we've seen instances in a lot of the sets where someone loses. Like, these are all fantastic players, but it's just, can you take advantage of certain situations? Like, in game 1, for example, I think Bro could have won that game. Game 2, maybe, you know, Bro just didn't look that sharp the whole way through. You know, there were some... It's easier to look like you're making a mistake on a closed map than it is an open map where there's more opportunities to recover. But, you know, that's what it was. Like, Yo and Bro, Yo was close in a lot of those games, and Bro was able to close it out. And Barles has definitely been the more consistent performer in this series so far. So Bro is just looking for damage here, and he actually ran through this little gap, which is funny. I don't know if Barles knows about that. Barles does not know about that. The 2 militia are out there, but the 2 militia are kind of the wrong spot. You would want the 2 militia to be coming this way. And Barles did see the barracks. And now he sees the flag isn't there. So he's focusing on the walls. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if he checks to see if there's a hole here, guys. This will be straight archers from him. Yeah, let's see if we can get this wall down. Where is Bro from? I know Barles is from Poland. Bro is a Brazilian player. And he's been around a long time, just like most of these guys, but probably not quite as well known. Oh, man. Especially with the hill being here and it being an eagle into militia. Oh, God, this could be so annoying. He sees the eagle sitting there. Man, this is a lifeline for Bro. Like, so many players would have just walled that, and then this is a wasted investment. At least it's noticed now, but this could be a very successful drush. Villagers, again, fighting uphill, plus the eagle is there, and that villager's going to go down. It could be more, guys. We could see 2 villagers go down. He so needs this. He's hitting with the militia. He's blocking with the eagle because the eagle's weak. In the end, I don't think he's going to end up killing this villager, but I think that makes this whole attempt worth it. Otherwise, I think Bro would have been frustrated with himself for not scouting a little bit earlier. Will end up taking a trade against the militia as well, or the eagle as well. But he weakens the eagle, but loses his own. Not too bad. When you drush, you're not necessarily building up to kill villagers. You're building up to delay, whether that be walls or just buy yourself some free time. And certainly, I mean, this has been the dream drush, despite the dream map for Barles. You kill a villager from the Mayans. That's nice. So that evens out the vill count a bit. And then we don't even have the archer range yet for Barles. So faster feudal normally indicates there's going to be a range. Bit weird though how he hasn't added it yet. We are going to have the range and the blacksmith for bro. Now, he's paranoid. This is the problem. Like, look at this, guys. He's walling a lot. He doesn't know what's coming. He has to expect there's going to be army. And he's also looking with this militia right now. It looks like he added another one. And he'll actually see the range, so maybe he can relax a little bit more. Does not have a lot on food underneath his TC, though. So pulling off the berries like this, that can kind of hurt you here, guys. Like, you do not want to have 4 villagers off your berries at this point. So we'll see. I'm not thinking that Fletching's really going to come in easily for him. But he's going to add an archer. He's going to add an eagle for now. I think he's even going to just take his ostrich. Obviously, a lot more work to do right now, right? Like, this map for Barles is so good. And whoa, whoa, whoa. These villagers are actually going to go tower. Now, the militia saw the archer range. So, I don't love the position of the tower. I would love this position on the tower. I think that'd be good. Also, bruh, who did a great job walling in the first game. I'm sure he's going to be able to spot the proper wall spots. Actually delayed the house there, which was nice. Yeah, he walls up there. And yeah, I mean, here he comes with a small force here. Barles is going all eco here. He even went for horse collar for his farms. He's not even rushing the blacksmith. He just figures he can do no wrong if he just sits behind these walls with this type of a map. The Fletching is in for his opponent. And Barles going to lose this archer. And now suddenly he's like, wait a second. Now this guy's got tower here as well. This is so weird. Now, I think if Brud knew his opponent, it's unfortunate. But if he knew his opponent was making a tower, he would have canceled it and started to build it back here. This is actually not a tower that I'm in love with. Our ranged army still there for Barles. The tower is going to go up. Could send the archer inside the tower, which he does. And, well, in the end, he does deny a woodline. All right, not bad. Not in love with the fact that Barles hasn't been producing a lot of archers, but he's actually going to make an eagle now. That eagle could get some value. Just a little bit, though. I think Bro will end up dealing with it. And it feels very all-in economically, though, for the Brazilian. He's got 4 farms. Bringing back the ostrich food is fine. Feels like he really needs to get some kills here. And we still have to pay attention to this. Now, this stone is going to be important. Barles is going to mine that. Both players fighting with their eagles here. Looks like Barles is going to end up losing that fight. And I guess at this point, Bro's just assuming his opponent's fully walled behind this, but that's not the case. And the guy really needs to get his farm count up right now, and there he goes. But yeah, in the end, I guess he could... No! He shot the ostrich! I think he told the group to kill the ostrich to eat it. No! And now the archer dies. Oh, that actually would have been really nice to be able to take some food there. Oh, God. And now the eagles are surrounding his archer here. Oh, disastrous 30 seconds. Holy, man. Holy. His army can die. His villagers have wasted their trip now. Okay, he is going to place a tower, but yikes. See, Barles is worried about this, right? And that could have been an issue, but he's just going to drop the tower there now. This tower from Bro just feels like he doesn't know what to do. Well, Barles is ahead economically. Remember, his opening was all eco. Wood upgrade, farm upgrade. Even delayed the range for a while. Got plenty of farms. He's going to drop the blacksmith here in a second. Didn't even get any upgrades, and he's been fine, man. He's been fine. 9 to 5 KD when you invest in your economy and not into any military upgrades is amazing. And there he goes on the way to Castle Age. And I just... You know, I thought the tower initially was good, but the more I think about it, I feel like a tower back here would at least deny the woodline long term. This tower just didn't look all that promising. And then when you do get those upgrades, you need to be focusing on the army numbers. We didn't see many archers or many skirms to really punish the fact that Barles wasn't making much. And geez, I mean, even right now, like Bro's walling this way, he could actually lose this villager to the archers and the eagles that are looping around this way. So Eco KD is 2-1 for Barles, and he has not had to do too much. Because he didn't realize that he had to wall to the edge. Who would have thought the player that would 2-1 Yo, if you just said this on paper, player 2-1's Yo in the first round, is going to be on the brink of elimination later. Right now, I mean, like, this is huge for Barles. I mean, both players could still be relegated. It does depend on what else happens, but a massive win between these two. I think we'll continue to see Barles do more of the same, by the way. I think he's going to be happy with how this is playing out right now. I think he's happy with his eco. I think we will see a town center. I don't think he's going to rush the castle. I just think he's going to be as relaxed and eco-focused as possible. Would love to see that castle, though. I do think Plumed Archers in this matchup are always a great unit to go for. Right now, he's just going for Eagles, though. He does have 2 barracks. He'll hit Castle Age at 20 minutes. And here his 2 archers are. Again, not accomplishing too much. But for bro, you look at this eco and it just does not feel quite as crisp, quite as clean as the Mayan eco. And yet, even a town center here on the stone. And yeah, he's going to take care of this tower as well. I like this because Aztecs could always go for some type of crazy siege push. You don't want that. Not that the siege push would make sense in this situation when Eagles are running out across the map, but still. So we have barracks number 3 right now for bro. He must sense he's behind, so he's going to go for eagle numbers. The guy has 6 on food at the moment. Remember, a lot of those farms are also placed pre-horse color as well, as we have 3 TCs for Barles. So the Eagles are forcing some type of reaction. Look at the resources in the bank, man. 350 food to produce vills out of. Those town centers. And I don't know, man. Like, Game 1 was such a good game. For bro, he ended up losing it. Remember, he had that weird thing with his villagers just getting sent to the middle of the map. Game 2, I was asking a lot of questions at times. And then this game, I mean, I do think that his opponent having the Mayans, having that type of map, that always was going to make it difficult. But at the same time, you know, you killed a villager with the Drush. The tower was a little suspect. The army control wasn't really there. Army investment kind of stopped. And the more I look at this, the more I have faith that Barles is going to close this out. A fight that we're going to see bro take. A fight that he's hoping to win, and I'm sure he will now that he has more numbers arrive. That's now 40 villagers versus 50 villagers, and his opponent's going to be able to drop a castle here. Yep, and there's the castle. What do you guys think about this castle spot? I mean, it's very safe, so I don't mind it because you don't want to have it be denied, right? You're stopping with the eagle production now, so obviously you don't want to lose it. I personally would have preferred to see it near the front of your base or like maybe here just to give you a bit more map coverage. But I guess at the end of the day, he just wants to get the castle down. So it's not a bad castle, but it's not a castle that excites me. He does need to get the forward golds. As good as his map was to start, this gold and this gold here are huge. And then his opponent has a gold there as well. So no, for bro, at least he has this gold in the back, so in Castle Age, things are feeling a bit better for him there. But yep, there's going to be Plumed Archers, guys. Plumed Archers have a +1 attack against infantry. Elite Plumes have +2 attack versus infantry. To make matters kind of even worse, I feel like Mayan Eagles could also be an option here. We've seen the Mayan Eagles dominate so many times over the years due to the El Dorado upgrade. Yes, the Aztecs can mass a bit faster. Yes, the Aztecs get the +8, but it's still tricky. I think Aztecs are going to need to maybe think long-term about their skirms with the Eladdle upgrade. Ballistics in. Fletching just now coming in. Again, he's been so relaxed, man. So relaxed. He hasn't needed any upgrades, really. I think you could argue he didn't even need to ever get armor on his Eagles. Not that it was bad, but this guy's been looking good. And I think he just wants enough plumes so he can move out and place his next castle. If there's anything I could be critical of right now for Barles, it's that he has too much on stone. The guy is 20 on stone right now. And that means he's not going to have as much in some of the other categories. And there he goes for castle number 2. So yeah, I guess, again, it's like not a castle spot that I love. But he does want plume numbers. So that aspect of it is going to be quite nice. We have siege now for bro. He's going to add scorpions. He doesn't actually see this with his palisades, which is unfortunate. And he also has monks going out there to get the relics, but we do have eagles patrolling on those relics, so he needs to pay close attention. Bro could have lamed the forward gold with his vills. Yeah, he could have. Again, like, he just didn't have army, though, which was weird. He just stopped producing army, and so I think he was really worried that he would lose his villagers. Yeah, here we're going to see the plumes do work. Now, the scorpion will obviously be a good addition here for bro. I don't think one scorpion on its own is going to be enough here. Normally, you're going to want a second one, and yeah, he's going to get the second one now. Meanwhile, this eagle was able to clear up that eagle, so that's very good work. Plumed archers, though, are just micring down the scorpions like it's nothing. Oh, my God. And it has to be said, great micro from Barles. 74 eco for him, 56 for his opponent. This is not a good spot to be in. I mean, stating the obvious, not a good spot to be in. Now Barles could come forward and drop a castle on the golds and stones. Maybe you drop it here because it protects the stone and the gold. Maybe you drop it here because it kind of covers that gold. I think either one is fine. But yeah, like, Barles is a very eco-heavy player. He picked Arabia for his home map. He also outboomed his opponent. Like, he collected more resources in Game 1 and Game 2. I'd say where Barles is weak is, like, the tiny little aggression moments. Like, the fast man-at-arm archers. Those are the... It's not that type of play that you see him excel at. As well as maybe some of the others. They actually have Imp for bruh. So he's going up to Imp with 59 villagers. And so many of his villagers having to relocate right now. Look at this. Plumed archer will sit the gold. These plumed archers will run away. This castle will likely complete. More plumes going to pressure. And bro has just not looked good enough today to be able to take any games off of Barles. I don't know if game 1 kind of broke him a little bit. You know, for me as a player, I don't know how the top players show up and perform consistently, because I know that some days I play amazing and some days I just don't, and I'm sure that's relatable. I don't even know what the plan is. So he's getting Eagle Warrior now, but he would have to get Elite Eagle, and he would then have to have numbers. I think he was maybe thinking Barles would go 1 TC Fast Imp or something. But nope. Barles is all in Castle Age, tons of eco, tons of plumed archers. And he's got full control right now. Just having fun, man. Having fun. Look at the micro. Micro on this side as well. Whittling down the plume. Eagles, excuse me. Yeah, this game is super over. Yep, bro could be tired today, you know. Maybe played out of his mind against Yo. Wasn't able to replicate that form here. Not sure. We'll see what Barles can do with his micro. It does feel like he's gone a little too far in here. But plumes are plumes at the end of the day, and I'm sure he just wanted the map control. This has meant that bro has had to relocate villagers again from a resource he wants to take. And we're going to see Barles now just idle his TC so he can click up to Imp. Bro will not be able to afford much. He could maybe get Imp armor. Yep, there's that. He's at the limit, though. These plumes are just going to dance, I'm sure. Could be maybe another castle for Barles if he goes for the stone. Yep, there's the stone. It could eventually be 4, but ooh, big shots. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, the plumed archers have done their job, right? If you lose these plumes, it sucks, but I feel like you've done your job. What I would like to see is just focus down the eagle number, because it's the eagle number that's really going to worry you in the long term here if you're Barles. Yep, he'll end up losing those plumes now, but he did have plumes over here killing vills. And could even see your own eagle switch. I don't think he'll really need it. But if you're worried, you could always go for your own Eagle Warriors here as well if you're Barles. 94 villagers versus 64. But yeah, I mean, think back to early feudal, right? Fast range, fast blacksmith, and then you only made 3 or 4 ranged units. Just completely stopped producing archers. Barles was so greedy. Barles went for 1 tower, 2 archers, 2 eagles, in all feudal. I know that the map is good for Barles, but bro, certainly if you're going to open like that to be aggressive, certainly I think you're going to have to back it up with a little bit more production there. Barles has done such a great job with the tiny numbers, though. Like, this plumed archer just looping back in periodically, it would be so annoying. And yeah, we finally have Bruh making a castle, because he's going to want to try and win the Treb War. But I just don't think he's going to be able to compete there. Barles will have his plumed upgrades. There's no way these plumed archers can be stopped. They could just run right back into the eco if they wish to. But then also the position to make 3 trebuchets right off the bat for Barles. But he's going to go for elite plumed archer. He's going to go for bracer, and he's going to go for chemistry. Yep, there's no stopping this. You can stop this if the eco is similar. But with this type of eco, there's no way that you're able to tech switch into your skirmishers. And if you can't make skirmishers against this, I don't think the... I guess the only other option would be Onager, and that's really expensive as well here, right? Now, he doesn't know about the castle. So he's looking. He sees the castle. He says, oh, okay. So he'll probably make a Treb now. Does have this villager over here still, and the plume over here, just being annoying. He'll know now that the castle's there, that this is going to be about his opponent trying to mass Trebs to take his castle out. He runs in. He'll take the siege, no problem. The elite plumes can do that very easily. But look what they do to eagles. Elite plumed archer is amazing against eagle warrior. Which is a crazy thing because it's an archer that has 5 attack. But it's that extra bonus damage, guys. And just how cheap the plumed archers are that really matter. 3 eagles for Bruh. He's just... It doesn't even look like he's producing. And he resigns. He's out of the game. I'm trying to think through the results that these players are going to need. So, again, forgive me because I don't remember every single one. But I could actually pull up... Actually, maybe Robo could help in chat, but let's just do it off the top of our heads, right? So, after this result, this 3-0 result for Barles, he has 4 points. Bruh has 2. I think Bruh has to play Hera yet. And then there's one other player that Robo's going to remind me who he has to play. Either way, I mean, if he has to play Hera yet, and I'm correct on that, that's going to be a tricky, tricky set, obviously. He's going to be desperate for wins. For Barles, now it's looking a little better. But he still has to play Hera and Yo. Wait, no, I thought Bruh already played Hera. I don't remember. But having to play Hera and Yo after this makes you so much happier that you got this 3-0 here. Like, he could potentially still stay alive. Obviously, might still be in a spot where he needs 1 or 2 wins against those players. Bruh has to play Dragonstar. Ooh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, tricky. Tricky. And Dragonstar is super hungry as well, right? Dragonstar is super hungry. So Bruh versus Dragonstar is going to be a crazy set. Dragonstar would beat Barles 2-1. Dragonstar could do the same to Bruh, or Bruh could maybe respond, have a better day, and beat Dragonstar. So, but yeah, like Barles, Bruh, Dragonstar feel like the players that we're talking about in that group. There is always that chance, though, that Yo, who had a slow start to everything, could always get upset as well with some of the names he has to play. But right now, competitive stuff as we go to the end of the group for Group B. You know, just a disappointing series for Bruh. I think he's going to be... I think he'll acknowledge he maybe didn't have his day, but Barles was Mr. Consistent here. More eco in that game, despite losing that villager at the start of Feudal Age. We said it all before, was able to delay his army, and it was just as smooth as could be from there. GG.